This week on the Early Bird, we've got Arsenault and Kwasi Adu-Poku. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this very first episode of the Early Bird right here on the McMaster Sports Instagram. Stick around. He is a three-time All-Canadian forward for your McMaster Marauders basketball team, but so much more than that. It is Kwasi Adu-Poku. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good today. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Early Bird, the very first episode. You are the first athlete featured. How does that feel? Got to be an honor, right?
Feels pretty good. I've been at this school a long time, so when I'm a part of something for the first time, it always feels nice.
Yeah, right on, man. So obviously you're great on the basketball court. Anyone who's been inside Birch Gymnasium during your time here at the school can see that. But we're here to talk about something you're doing off the court a little bit. We're here to talk about the Reach series. I'm just going to hand it over to you and let you speak on what the Reach series is.
Well, if I could explain the Reach series in a simple way and then kind of branch off from that, it's a series of online motivational workshops I've made, basically based on my upbringing and my life experiences, not just as a person, but as an athlete as well. I really tie back into some of the struggles I went through on the court, but in that process of those struggles, I've learned a lot of life lessons that transfer into a lot of different facets of life. So I've definitely taken the time to find out ways that I could, teach people these lessons in a fun, engaging, interactive way. And I was lucky enough to work with Vince Luciani of Legacy Coaching, who could, give me the most structured process to do so. Well, when I think about now being the right time, when I think about the state the world was in, I definitely feel like everyone had a lot more time to think and reflect to themselves. And one thing I always wanted to do was be a life coach or make some sort of motivational workshops I could get people to take good lessons from. If I could also think more specifically to quarantine, I know I've been in a down place a lot of times, and something I believed in from when I was young was just using my experiences to help uplift others, using my negative experiences to help uplift others. I keep saying that. Yeah. I like using my negative experiences to uplift other people, and I felt like if I could do this in a structured way, it definitely be something that not just feels fulfilling, but a productive use of my time during quarantine.
Yeah, right on. So you guys are going into your fourth and final week with the Reach series. So what kind of things will you be talking about in your fourth week here?
Well, in my fourth week, it's titled Discover Balance. I basically talk about how you could, learn to tackle procrastination and this thing called effective forecasting, where we usually tell ourselves, oh, I'll do something tomorrow, but I kind of bring emphasis to the idea of just learning and, finding ways to do things today. And I tie it back to a story where in my second year, pretty much all my classes overlapped with practice time. And I found myself, feeling overwhelmed and feeling like being a student, being an athlete directly conflicted with each other. And I found a way to still become a youth sports academic All-Canadian. I still found a way to earn minutes on the court, and this is a time where a new coach was coming who was just looking for guys to prove themselves. So I took a lot from, that dilemma, and I grew a lot, and I learned some lessons that I want to share with some people.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, Kwasi. And thank you again so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Arsenault, welcome into the Early Bird. You are the Student Athlete Services Coordinator, just making sure I'm getting that right. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to have you on. So how long have you been at McMaster in your current role?
I started at McMaster in 2006, but in my current role, I started that in 2009. So it's been created for over 10 years now. I'm going into my 11th year with this particular role. It's just a way to support student athletes off the field of competition. I help them with their academics, admissions, and recruitment. I'm the compliance officer, so I oversee eligibility and scholarships for our student athletes as well, too.
Wow. So do you see every single student athlete that comes onto campus at McMaster?
My focus is our youth sports teams. So our 12 teams that compete to lead to a national championship, compete for a national championship. But yes, so I do know all of those student athletes, or the vast majority of those student athletes, and I do meet them when they are being recruited to come to McMaster. I let them know about the academic programs they're looking into, the admission requirements, help sort of facilitate anything that they might have stumbling blocks with in terms of transfers or supplementary applications or anything like that.
Wow. So let's just cut to the chase. Is this the most difficult year you've had in your job as athletic services coordinator?
That's an interesting question. It's the most, I don't know if it's the most difficult, but it is the most unique for sure.
Well, yeah.
Yes, it has bring some unique challenges. I keep saying that this time of year, students, training camp started, student athletes are coming back to campus. There's this excitement of the new season.
Absolutely.
And, we just don't have that this year. And it's rather sad. I miss being on campus. I miss seeing our student athletes. So this is definitely unique for me and everyone else in the department too.
Right. So right now, this time of year, you're taking on giving orientation to all the student athletes for the new year, kind of training them how to be a student athlete. What does that look like this year, and how does that differ from how you guys have done it in a normal year?
Okay, so we start on Thursday, September 10th at 6 o'clock. Student athletes from youth sports teams will be getting an email from me with the Zoom link. That's how we're kicking it off. It's only going to be an hour each of these sessions. And we're going to just do welcomes, talk about a return to train proposal that we put forward to the university, clearance and sport medicine and all the things you need to know about, maybe working out in a community gym. So these are all just the basics. And then on Mondays, what we're going to do is it's first year youth sports student athletes. And we're going to talk more that are geared towards first year information around academics, around some of the services that the university offers. And then every Thursday at 6 p.m., we're looking at all student athletes from youth sports teams to come together. And we'll talk about academics, learning online. We've got a couple guest speakers. We've got some professors that are going to be coming in and sharing their thoughts with us about online learning environment and how to be engaging in that, how to connect with your professors that way. The Student Success Center will be at some of these sessions, student wellness. So we've got lots of people from across campus, our community campus partners coming to engage as well with these sessions. But so it's for youth sports student athletes. Thursday nights will be for all youth sports student athletes. And then for Monday nights, it'll just be the first year youth sports student athletes. And we plan to do something very similar for our OUA teams in October once we get sort of teams finalized at that point.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Claire, for joining us. That's all the questions I've got for you today. I have to say your background back there runs laps around mine. I've just got the blank white wall, but you've got the football helmets and the mini balls. It's excellent. You really went all out for it.
Well, my boys helped me. It was a little afternoon project we worked on, so they were happy to help, and yeah, I think it turned out okay.
Yeah, it turned out great. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Early Bird, brought to you by Fortinos. Be sure to check out McMaster Sports Instagram for more of the best clips and highlights from the Marauders, or check out marauders.ca for more news and stories.